not a scientist. I'm not an expert in football. I'm not an expert in football measurements. But that's what only football. It's so goddamn hard about holding on to it.
What's up?
We are live. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Millionaires. The Fantasy Millionaires in the house. My man, Mike Cash Collins. And I guess I'm going to be Scott Nimble with number stacks, something like that. I don't know. Welcome. How are you doing, my friend?
Well, it wasn't the best fantasy weekend for me again. I drafted AJ Green in 3 leagues. I have Raheem Mostert in like 3 or 4 leagues. I have Michael Thomas. I have Saquon Barkley. I have Christian McCaffrey. I have Lamar Jackson, who is, playing like what the NFL thought he was going to play like all of a sudden. So, but beyond that, I'm playing fantasy football, and I'm, you gotta ride the waves. You gotta ride the ups and the downs of this fantasy season, dude. That's why we're here tonight, dude. We got to talk about all the things happening in the fantasy landscape, waiver wires. Yeah, man. It's an awesome game tonight. This is Monday night. We have the game on in the background. We're watching. Did you get to see Samuel L. Jackson's intro?
No. I have children that need to go to bed. And so sadly I was doing the cuddle time, which I love, but no, tell me how badass Samuel L. Jackson was.
Bro, that was like the best intro I've ever seen. It was just like, it got you so much goosebumps. It got you tingles. Oh my gosh, you just got so revved up. I mean, right now it's 2010 in the game, so Kansas City they are looking like they are the truth. But Baltimore, it's still another half. So
we're not going to give up on them yet. I did pick Baltimore, I think, to go to the Super Bowl in our running every week. We kind of update where we're at. I believe you picked the Chiefs, so you're looking ahead of me on that one. Good call. We'll see. A lot of season left. This is the third week of the season. Sorry, I'm already in the third week of the season. So a lot of games we played, a lot of injuries to happen still. But Kansas City is looking tight today. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Cheetah. Mahomes just looks like, no one can mess with him. And they look strong. And your boy Lamar, you're right. He's kind of back to, first-year Lamar, not MVP Lamar. So,
yeah, he broke off a nice 30-yard run, but then they got like a crap penalty, and that stalled him out on another drive, and they didn't go for it on 4th down. So, a lot of stuff, a lot of action, man. A lot of things popping off this weekend. We always do our elevate, mitigate, eviscerate. I'm at the place with injuries where I'm like having to elevate like Golden Tate. Yeah.
Your elevations sound more like mitigations, bro. Maybe that's part of the problem this week.
Yeah. Well, there's nobody. There's just no options. If you had certain combinations of players right now, if you're 1 and 2, good for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the guys we talked about last week was Myles Gaskin, and I think he's now moved into solid. He's a solid flex.
Mm-hmm.
I got outbid by $1 in our league of record, but I got him in another league, and he's what I thought Matt Breida was going to be. So
yeah.
I think he's going to get you those 15 points every week. I mean, they are giving him the ball. So Yeah, he was like the first person that I was like thinking he's gone all the way from not drafted to now he's a flex guy. So
yeah. Well, I mean, he was not drafted at all, and when you looked at what you thought the snap share was going to be in that backfield, he wasn't part of that percentage. He didn't really factor in, and he's done pretty well. He has 64% of the stats so far, and that's good. I mean, that's good. You want somebody above 50%, and he's got them. So he's on the field most of the time, and
right.
he's getting targets. You like that as well. He's in the top 10 in RB targets so far. So there is some sneaky value there. I do like that. The longevity of that waiver wire pickup if you hadn't grabbed him before, and then also the elevation seems like it's going to stick for a while. I like that. Anybody else this week that we elevated from last week that popped off, or guys that you're just noticing that maybe you didn't elevate last week, but you're going to elevate them this week?
I don't know really what I don't know how much we talked about Cole. I don't remember if we talked about him a lot last week or not, but
I think I talked about how I was going to bid $22 on the waiver wire for him, and then you bid $25 for him and you took him from me. So yeah, I do. I think we did mention him, and he's somebody who maybe got elevated in a game you thought was going to pop on Thursday night without, DJ Shark, and then he kind of fell flat as the whole team kind of rode the Connolly disaster that kind of was. So, where are you at on Cole? Are you giving up on him, or is he somebody who you're going to kind of keep another shot in the lineup next week, or what's your status on him?
I think it just depends on your situation. If you're in a situation where you need somebody for a flex. I mean, he looks like he's going to get 10 points a game, and with AJ Brown out, I'm always going to be looking, depending on who's on my team, if I should start him. But yeah, he's not really shaping up. I'm not, I'm not saying elevate on him. Corey Davis too, similar sort of situation. I'm sorry, I was saying AJ Brown. I was thinking of DJ Shark. Now it's like they're the same player to me. Like 10-point, should be eating more, but not. Yeah. No. Getting 4 or 5 receptions, 50 yards, if they got a touchdown, it'd be a nice week. But
right.
Yeah, they're all, I think they're all good pickups, but I mean, nothing. I'll tell you who I think is should be elevated. Tyler Boyd.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, he was probably in your flex, but
wide receiver 2, he should be cemented in there. You're thinking?
I think he's earned his way into that sort of category. So you got a little. If he was in your flex, now you've got a little more room in your flex. You can flex a little bit. So.
Yeah, well, I like it. And maybe one of your studs is hurt, like you mentioned earlier, somebody that you got in the first or second round, as it's a triage unit right now for anybody, not named, I don't know, Alvin Kamara. And what a
elevate him.
Oh man, give him it all. His grill, by the way, he's got the best grill in the game. I don't know if you saw after that touchdown, he had a little sideline camera up close on the grill, and man, I gotta up my game. I gotta get that. It's diamonds across, all gold around the diamonds. It is the best grill. Normally I look at grills and I go gaudy, inappropriate. I don't really like the grill mouth guard thing going on, but he has just got it, man. That grill mouth guard is tight. It's the tightest thing.
Why does he wear that visor though?
Man, why do I wear these sunglasses at night, man? This is
No, that's what I'm saying. Like we
you
can't,
know?
I can't see anything right now.
Who said
What? Why? Like your entire life depends on being able to see 250-pound men that are just going to ruin your knees. And he still got his cool, like, wears his sunglasses at night, shades on, his visor. Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
But Bo's got a good
visor, but you got to, like, I don't know, man. You might get pulled over by the popo with that thing. Like, that tip is hot. Like,
it is hot.
Your field of vision is good. I mean, but hey, I can't argue.
You know, I'm gonna guess, and you know, my shades do this. I've got some, you know, it looks shiny on your side. You know, you're just seeing the reflection. On my side, everything looks a little bit colorized and looks a little bit intensified. Actually, with these shades, I wouldn't be surprised if his visor doesn't actually look black from the way that he is presenting, but he has maybe a more clairvoyant view than we suspect, because his moves and his ballerina tiptoe act, I think I've talked about it before. I'm sad I don't have more Kamara. I'm a big, huge fan of him.
Oh my God.
You know, but Bo says he's got it so the defenders can't rip out his nose ring. Yeah, well, maybe that. I think that's what.
Does he have a nose ring? What kind does he have? Does he have like a little like Tupac joint, or does he have like a
hoopy? I don't know.
Got like a bull nose joint?
No, that's Zeke. Zeke's got that cattle.
Yeah, Zeke's got the bull nose joint. So, I mean, seriously, the way he's playing, he might have like Google Maps inside his visor, dude. Like he's
cheating.
Yeah, I think somebody should take a look inside there, because he is that run, dude. I mean, that was like beast mode. That was like, I mean,
the weed
on Lynch. I mean, that was if somebody has a better run this season than that, like, yeah, man, like the NFL is on, because that was just, you know, that was the run of 2020.
Yeah, I'm with you. I love it. You know, speaking of elevating other, you know, players in other different teams that we've talked about, I think that Ryan Fitzpatrick is somebody that you need to elevate. He's not owned in a lot of leagues. You know, I think he's only owned in at least, you know, some people do Yahoo, ESPN, whatever he's in. I'm looking at ESPN right now because that's where we're at. You know, he was only owned, I think, in like 30% of teams, 20% of teams. So, you know, he's not owned. You can go get him right now and elevate him. Guess who he plays in week 3, by the way? Oh, I'm sorry. He's only rostered in 5%. I'm way above 5%. Guess who he plays? He plays the Seattle Seahawks and their sieve of a pass funnel defense that, you know, he's going to throw a bunch against, because Seattle's going to throw a bunch against, and there's going to be another shootout, my guess. And so he's somebody who I think you can elevate if you need a starting quarterback. Your quarterback sucks. You know, maybe your quarterback has not been what you thought he's. Carson Wentz, right? You're a Carson Wentz truther, and that's just some hot trash. But I don't want to break into the waiver wire yet, but he's somebody who I do know is on a few teams.
I don't know, but you're saying elevate, like put him in your starting lineup. I mean, as a streamer.
Yes.
I'll tell you, if Joe Burrow is still available. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
That guy has only played in 3 NFL games. He looks so good. That's why I said Tyler Boyd, dude.
Yeah.
You know, for whatever reason, him and AJ Green are just not connecting. I keep starting AJ Green. He might be segueing us into mitigate, because
that's a mitigation.
Yeah, he is. I don't understand it. But I understand it because Joe Burrow is like Mozart back there, dude. Like, but you know, he's just looking. It seems like he struggles the most at throwing the routes that AJ Green runs too.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's part of it.
Yeah, they're contested routes too. They're also routes that need to be on the sidelines. He's out there on the edge. He's out there on those angles that are a little tighter, and he'd rather not throw those. I get it. He's thrown the ball though a whopping 141 times in 3 games. He averages 30 completions a game, dude. That's ridiculous. Those are points. Those are points. You want those.
He just looks so good to me. Gardner Minshew had a dud.
Oof. He was hot though. Everybody was hot on him last week.
And
he
I caught Minshew mania. I started him. Lost that one. Got me 10 points. So, he might be
eviscerate.
To eviscerate. Yeah, hopefully you have better QB options. I'm still interested in him though. I just think he's going to have games like that from time to time. I just thought, man, versus Miami, I thought it was going to be another fun Gardner shootout, but
no,
it wasn't. Who else? Anybody else you are saying elevate besides just all the studs that everyone drafted? I mean, who's come up and is now really, moved up the ranks from bench to flex or flex to wide receiver 2?
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I've been preaching him all off season. And so he's done really well so far. He hasn't caught a touchdown yet. I think when he does, it'll kind of even be more so. But, CeeDee Lamb is somebody who you can just pencil him in. He's running 82% of the time he's on the field. That's a great snap share for a rookie. So I think he's somebody who you can really kind of count on moving forward. That's in the top 20 of wide receivers, which you love to see. I think he's somebody who you definitely are going to elevate. I think even though he had a bad game last week, I think Darius Slayton is somebody who you want to elevate. He's somebody who he's going to have more targets than he was before when Sterling Shepard was on the field. It's now Tate, Shepard, Ingram. He's a part of a 3-headed monster. I think he's somebody who, even though last week he played a tough 49ers defense, even though they're hurt, they're still a really good team. They have good players. They have good backups, and their backups crush the Giants. So I think Slayton has that late game shootout potential that maybe DJ Shark, we kind of thought he did. He had connection with Daniel Jones last year. So he's somebody, 87% of the route or the snap share he's getting, that's great. I like that a lot. He's on the field all the time.
Yeah. This guy is going to be mentioned in the waiver wire segment, but I like what I saw out of Justin Jefferson too. I'm already buying in. I think once you break the seal on a game like that, a lot of times with rookie wide receivers, you're gonna have to wait and be patient, and people will drop guys like that in the first few weeks. So chances are he's on the waiver wire unless it's first come, first serve. If you have an auction, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody already dropped him. He got dropped in our league, our main league record. So I know there's going to be a bidding war on him. And I would honestly, consider putting him in my flex. I think he's going to be boom or bust at times, but they can't just throw it to Adam Thielen all the time, Yeah. So.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of that same division, Alan Lazard is the 9th ranked wide receiver right now. A lot of that has to do with opportunity and the team he's on. But I think the narrative that Aaron Rodgers was kind of going to just hand the ball off this whole year and they were phasing him out. We were much ado about nothing, it appears, as Aaron Rodgers is one of the top 3 quarterbacks in fantasy, one of the top just 3 quarterbacks in the league again. And I feel like he's dangerous right now. Like he's got a chip on his shoulder. And it's not even like, Tom Brady, he'd get out there and he'd be kind of angry. You'd see Tom Brady angry. My man, Aaron Rodgers, is like cool, calm, calculating. He's reading all these different books, telling reporters to read these incredible books that are, way above their pay grade. And just, he's out there living the dream right now, I think. And I'm a big fan of Allen Lazard benefiting from that. As a wide receiver too, he's already living the wide receiver 2 theory dream right now. And if you got him in the late rounds, you got a top 10 wide receiver. He's not going to finish the top 10 unless Adams is out for the whole season. But I bet you he finishes top 30. And that's a good value for somebody you got maybe the 40th, 50th area of the wide receiver group. So that's somebody who also needs to be elevated in your lineup.
Yeah, I think there's 8 really fun teams to watch in the NFC. The NFC West, everyone.
Yeah.
Tune in. They're all playing great. And then Saints, New England Baywatch, the Bucs look great. The Cowboys are going to be good. They lost to the Seahawks. So, and then, man, out of nowhere, here come the Green Bay Packers. And like you said, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. And, they're moving up Cash's power rankings for sure.
Yeah.
So I think the analysts were really trying to pick between Lazard and MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and most of them were saying, MVS, and they were wrong. It looks like Lazard is the one you want to have on that offense. He's going to be the number 2, and Devontae Adams is out. He's the number 1. So.
What do you think about talking about mitigation right now? Because I love that call right there. I think that does give you a lot of upside. You're scoring the 20-point potential upside with Lazard each week. Other side of the coin, what do you do with T.Y. Hilton? He's just got 23 fantasy points so far, 23.5. He's not looking great. 7.8 fantasy points or points per game. That's just gross. I can't, I can't. It's so bad.
I saw an article about, I don't know if it was his mom or his grandma was like, that just ain't you. That just ain't you. And he was like, you're right. I'm gonna this week's gonna be different.
Ma, come on, Ma. Ma.
Yeah.
No.
Get the meat right, Ma. Yeah.
Here's the problem. It's not T.Y.
He's crashing funerals now.
You got any targets? Hey, you got a target? Got a target? He's crashing weddings to catch the bouquet. T.Y. Hilton catching bouquets at weddings, looking for targets. Yeah. Well, and this is the problem. It's not him. I don't hate T.Y. I think he's in better shape. He's not injured. I don't like that offense that much right now. I don't like Phillip Rivers. I hate Phillip Rivers. Let me be honest with you. His sidearm shuttlecock pushing the ball, it's old. It was good when he was young. It was quick. He's not hitting T.Y. deep. I watched his deep ball accuracy last year in San Diego. He would overthrow Mike Williams every game by like 10 yards because he doesn't have accuracy anymore.
He likes his tight ends, and he likes his little dump off, Naheem Hines, Jonathan Taylor running backs. That's what he does.
T.Y.'s not playing terrible. He's in a scheme that's not benefiting him.
Right.
It's just not. His air yards are way down.
How about my boy, my 3rd round draft pick, DJ Moore?
I didn't even want to bring him up because he's kind of so far down on this list of points.
Is he mitigate?
I think what you're seeing is he's getting most of the double coverage. He's getting the attention. I saw a couple good passes and completions last week downfield for 20, 30 yards. But man, Teddy is just not what he needs. Teddy's terrible, is what Bo says. I don't think he's terrible as much as he doesn't target downfield at all. He is just dink and dunk underneath the king of the 12-yard. The 11-yard, the 6-yard, the 8-yard, it's just not great.
I think that was the Chargers. They don't allow a lot of fantasy points to number 1s.
True.
So I'm not going to mitigate him yet. But it is interesting, what's going on in that offense because with McCaffrey out, it's just really hard to get a read. I'm not going to mitigate him. I'm still going to start him. But I think he's moved from, he was a borderline wide receiver 1 at the beginning of the season. He's now kind of moved to flex. So, but I'm gonna wait, if he's got another 2 reception game versus Arizona, then, but I don't think that's how it'll be. I honestly don't. I honestly think it might be a good time to try and trade for him if you've got some bait.
Yeah. Well, speaking of maybe somebody you want to trade for, DJ Moore's down there in the struggle bus city, but he's not alone. He's not by himself. There's more than a few friends that are down there. Brandon Cooks, I mean, he was undraftable to me, but you can just, mitigate him to your bench. My guy, Marquise Hollywood Brown, unless he's busted out, and I haven't seen it tonight because I'm in podcasting now and not totally all in on the game. He's somebody who he's you drafted him top 30. Right now he's 63rd overall in fantasy points for wide receivers, but he might be a drafting or might be a trade target, like you said, somebody who you get the owner who drafted him early kind of unhappy with him. Maybe you flip somebody, get him in down the stretch, but I don't know. I mean, Lamar needs to be consistent. Lamar needs to throw the ball accurately and throw the ball more, really, honestly, for that to be he's always been a flex to me. He's never been a wide receiver too. He's a DFS bust-off candidate, I think, each week, if you're looking for a big
All right. I'm trying to find out exactly what he's got right now.
Well, I like how you found a mailman with a doorbell and a dog.
I'm on ESPN Fantasy, and they threw their stupid little ad.
ESPN Fantasy, what are you doing? Hey, I got a little, one more guy who I want to mitigate, and I feel bad because you know what? It's not because he completely sucks, but it's more because of the role that he's in right now. And some people might be surprised by who I'm going to say, but Joe Mixon right now. Man, he is just so gross. I mean, he's mitigated to my flex, but man, I don't even feel comfortable about that. That is just.
He has the most yards after contact, I think, in the NFL, something like that. I mean, he's got like a Saquon Barkley offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not that worried about him. I do think big games are coming. It's going to have to be in PPR leagues though, and hopefully there's more of an uptick in figuring out ways to get him the ball through the air because he's going to get 2 to 3 yards per carry. I mean, that it is what it is. He gets 2 to 3 yards per carry, he leads the league in yards after contact because he's getting hit at the -1 yard line or something like that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Here's the thing. I don't think Joe Mixon is terrible. I think that offensive line is terrible. Yeah. I think the games they've been behind or kind of in the first game they were in it with with LA. I'm never going to get over the San Diego Chargers moving to LA, just like I'm never going to get over the Washington football team. Yeah. Jinx.
Isn't it so weird when they say that when you're watching the red zone and then now we'll turn back to the football team.
And the football team has the ball on the football field.
A football team?
Just call them Washington. It's not hard to go Washington. Yeah. It's like a non sequitur. Like
our team's name is the football team.
Well, they're not my team. I gave up on them years ago. One more friend who might be somebody that you can just mitigate outright is Mark Ingram. I don't know if he just ran for 90 yards and a touchdown, but He's down in the 47th range. It's not great. He's not doing great so far. We need a little bit more from Mark Ingram. We'll see how he does tonight. But he's somebody who, if you got him as your RB2, he's more flex appeal now than RB2 at the moment. We'll see if he can kind of pick up the pace and kind of bring it a little bit better. He's under 20 points the first 2 games. That's not good. That's under 10. That's under 10 a game. You wanted him from like the 14, 13 point range, so he's down. He's down so far.
What about DeAndre Swift?
Oh,
mitigate to eviscerate.
I'd mitigate. I think running backs get hurt. I think that's the one thing too. I'm not somebody who drafts handcuffs, but right now Adrian Peterson is the RB1 in that offense. I don't think it's going to be that way the whole year. I think things will change. Players will get hurt. Maybe Adrian Peterson won't because he's apparently inhumane or inhuman or another planet. But I do think that the rest of those Lions are Kerryon Johnson. He can eviscerate him if you're holding on to him. Ugh, he's so gross. But I would right now. I would mitigate most of the Detroit Lions offense, except if you have Kenny Galladay, of course, you're starting. And then Jones is an okay flex. And Hockenhouse, as my wife calls him, if you got a better tight end.
Cam Akers, eviscerate?
No, if you have an IR on your team, hide him on your IR, and then you can kind of just keep him, see what happens with him, and wait and see.
Isn't it look like Darrell Henderson is the guy? I'm going to say elevate him.
Oh yeah, he should definitely be elevated. But Malcolm Brown's on the field too. They're both really good backs. I think, I would just hold on to him if you can keep on your IR for a little while, just in case somebody gets hurt. You just never know. But yeah, if that starting duo is Cam Akers comes back, he's healthy, and then I would get rid of him if he doesn't play. But you got a spot on your IR, keep him there. I got 4 spots on IR. RIR. So
yeah.
Let's jump into our waiver wire, and we talked about a few of these guys, but let's jump around. Where do you want to start? What position are you targeting? You're the number 1 pick or your first pick in your order. You're 0-3, you're 1-2, you're sucking it up, or you have some fab money to spend, unlike yourself in real life, and there's some guys you want to target. Who are you going after with your first pick?
So I got some sneaky waiver wire pickups for everybody. Damian Harris, depending on if you're in a 10 or a 12-man league, he might have been drafted. If you have an IR spot, somebody might have drafted him and put him in their IR. I picked him up in a league today. I picked up Rex Burkhead and played him last week. He's going to come in and he's going to take away Rex Burkhead's position from him. Right now, Cam Newton is leading that team in rushing. They don't want that.
No,
that's not by design. That's because they have garbage running backs. He had taken over the number 1 position preseason, and we talked about him on our pre-draft shows. I'm going to say rush out and get that dude, and you can probably get him on the sneak because I don't think anybody is
after him.
Yep. People are not paying attention to him. And another guy I think is worth picking up like that, depending on, how stacked your bench is. But Philadelphia they have no one at wide receiver. And word on the street is Alshon Jeffrey they were targeting him for week 5, and they are pushing him up because they need him. He might be starting week 4 for Philadelphia. So I think those are 2 sneaky guys that you could get.
I like it. You mentioned one guy earlier who's not sneaky, but Justin Jefferson. I think he's somebody who, you kind of need to get him, and you need to kind of target him if you are on a wide receiver hole or you have some openings in your roster that kind of need to be turned over. I think he's somebody who's worth spending, 15 to 20% of your fab on. 17% might be where you kind of nail it. I wouldn't overspend. He's not, somebody who you have to have, but he's going to get targets. And I think what you saw was his upside. But he's fast, man. He's quick. He knows what he's doing. I mean, he was great. He was great in college. So we knew he had some potential. So I think he's a must grab if he's out there and you're struggling at wide receiver. A sneaky grab, maybe not so sneaky, but Andy Isabella took advantage of his time on the field last week with 2 touchdown grabs. And he's not somebody who popped, frequently last year. He had 1 game or 2 games where he kind of popped and had long runs. He's an athlete, man. Like, he really is. He is a footballer. And, I've never really believed in Christian Kirk. He's injured. I don't know how he fits in that offense. It looks like it's a one-man show right now with DeAndre Hopkins. And that kind of is going to allow for those other people to come open. And I think you saw Andy Isabella take advantage of that gristle. And so I think he's somebody who you could probably pick up cheap, and he could be a flex play for you in some of these games that you can see that are going to pop off. Detroit, it was a loss, but still a game that had a high total in Vegas. I think it's one thing, too, if you're looking at who to kind of pick up. What's the game that's going to shoot? The next week, look at the total. Who's Vegas thinking is going to pop off in the next round of matchups? And then there you can look for some of your value. Okay, the Bears are going to pop off, let's say. And, Anthony Miller is available. And by the way, Anthony Miller is available in our league of record because somebody dropped him right before the game because he sucked last week, which makes sense. But he came back, had a touchdown. Nick Foles is there. I think Anthony Miller, if he's not already grabbed, he should be owned on every team. So those are a few guys I'm targeting at wide receiver. What about running back? I've got a little bit of a sneaky play looking at the snap share last week and kind of how things rolled out in week 3. I've got a little RB guy that's unowned in most leagues, and I think maybe he's a good pickup. What are you thinking for RB?
Are you going to say Justin Wilson?
No, because I actually already own him. And so, but he is a good pickup. If you haven't picked him up, he gets those goal line carries. He fulfills the bigger bruising back role in the Kyle Shanahan offense. He's not the pass catcher very much, but he can still catch a pass here and there, but that's not his primary role. And so I think that game script was perfect for him. So he's not going to do that every week.
Sorry, I said Justin. It's Jeff.
Sorry, it's Wilson Jr. The junior.
Yeah, Jeff Wilson Jr.
I'm talking Brian Hill in Atlanta, and I think he dropped a pass. He ran for a touchdown. He looked like a quicker, faster back in that offense. And so I think the cream rises to the top in the NFL. And I know that they signed Gurley. I know he's there, but Gurley, man, he fades at the end. So if you just want to have somebody who maybe won't be fading at the end, pick up the backup in that situation who outscored Gurley, I believe, last week. So I think that's a nice little sneaky play. If he's not owned, grab him up. I know in Dynasty people are high-fiving. I started Hill. So, Dynasty committee.
Yeah.
Where are you at? Anybody else in the RB category who's worth a little bit of fab or a little sneaky pickup?
Trying to think if there's anybody else that is jumping out. Here's somebody I like that I think is worth picking up. Potential flex. He always is, and he's always on the waiver wire. Mm-hmm. And why not go ahead and grab him now? I think Cole Beasley might be a nice little pickup.
6 for 100 last week. That's 16 points, right? That's pretty.
Yeah. He always does this. I mean, he was doing the same thing last year. I mean, he gets those little dink and dunk passes, and
guess where he's right? Guess where? Top 30.
Right. So I think Cole Beasley is a nice get off the wire. Somebody I'm keeping my eye on. I picked him up in my main league because my team is struggling.
Ooh.
And, he is. We don't know what's going to happen, but there was a lot of hype on KJ Hamler. I'm interested to see what he does now that Cortland Sutton is out. Last week it was Patrick that was getting more of the volume, but he's a rookie, so KJ Hamler is a rookie, so we'll see. He's gonna have an opportunity now to really develop, and I could see him kind of being that Cole Beasley. The only problem is just we need Drew Lock to get back. So
that offensive line is terrible too. I mean, goodness gracious, they made the Bucks look like the Bears, the '85 Bears. They came in there and they ate them for lunch. So
I got one more guy that depending on how your team is, he's not like a must add, but
right.
Old man Randall Cobb had himself nice, and it does look like it's sort of game script dependent, but he might be somebody that you could use for a buy or something like that if you've got one coming up.
No, I like that. And the rankings go Randall Cobb 32nd, Will Fuller 33rd. So you can talk all you want about Randall Cobb sucks or he's old or whatever, but points are points. And I'll be honest with you, if we just took the names off of these and then just said, hey, here's the leaders in points and had like dooba dabba deeba dooba dooba.
Like our wives play and
right.
And they always beat us on picking up players because they're just like Abadooba Deeba is number 32. Why don't you pick him up? And you're just like, because he's old.
Yeah, who cares?
Beasley.
Yeah, not gonna do it. What's his
into them stats?
Not gonna play him. No, you're not gonna play him. Yeah. So, well, the ladies know best. They think about it in a deeper way. So, yeah, I like that. This is crazy. I'm going to tell you something crazy to do, and I hate myself for it. And don't you quote me. And I think there's a good chance this could come back to haunt me. With Nick Foles in the game, Jimmy Graham is in play. Sorry, I just threw up on the podcast. Yeah, I mean that's real. Like he targets tight ends in the end zone. He likes those big guys in the end zone. Jimmy Graham is a big target in the end zone. And that's what they brought him there for. And I think we all kind of laughed at Jimmy Graham when we're like, he's so terrible. He's 6'6" still. He's still like big hands club. He still can go, I'm taller than you, DB, in the end zone. So, if you're struggling at tight end, dare I say it, sneak Jimmy Graham in there for,
two more tight ends to add to the talk. Mo Alley Cox. He's probably he might have already been picked up, but if he hasn't, get him.
Jimmy's and Cox.
And a guy that I was hyping in the pre-draft show finally had his first big game, Mr. Eric Ebron. And
the Ebroninator, yes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the way that Pittsburgh plays, he's just going to fit right into that offense, and Big Ben is going to look for him down in the red zone. Why wouldn't you? He's the guy to look for. So, yeah, he's a good tight end snag, I think. Yeah.
Well, one sneaky little quarterback. If you got a quarterback issue and you got somebody struggling, not every week, but maybe streaming option, Jared Goff from time to time seems to get it in. And I think what you're seeing is in that offense, there's just a lot of plays being run. They're averaging over 70 plays a game. I mean, you want that on offense. You know what I mean? You want to have a bunch of plays. So in that game against Buffalo, I actually did like a few of those Buffalo Bills plays because I know they both average 70 plays a game. That's 140 plays, for a game. That sounds delicious, Yeah,
no doubt.
It's a million plays.
Yeah, so, I drafted him as my backup to Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson has 5.75 points in this game right now. So maybe he needs to get mitigated.
Maybe he might. Well, I like it. Let's transition to around the NFL, just general observations. Week 3, what tickled your fancy on a great? Well, let's say this, a great afternoon of games. Maybe not an initial amazing first, except one game. To me, I'll just say Atlanta, get your shit together. Sorry to the kids, to quote Denny.
Well, I feel bad for them because they lost Russell Gage. They lost Julio Jones. I mean, you can't do it without weapons.
No, they put up, but they were winning. They were winning.
I know, but then they lost Russell Gage. Like,
but then their defense didn't lose a bunch of play. Like, they do this every time. Like, there was a stat that was tweeted out by somebody, and I heard, I'm gonna not quote the person who tweeted it out, but I've heard the stat, and it was that to lose one game, how they did to the Cowboys, it was astronomical. To lose
like
back to back,
2%.
Yeah. To do it again the next week when they were leading in the it's insane. Like, it's insane. So that game to me, even though it wasn't a great game, it involved a Mitchell Trubisky benching, a kind of out in front by the Falcons, a comeback, a win, and just, man, what do you say for a team that lost a Super Bowl that should have won a Super Bowl? Imagine if they would have won that Super Bowl, man. They probably would have won another. They would not be choking like this again and again. It's just the same. Matt Ryan can't do it alone. Like, he can't. Like you said, he's got weapons that are hurt, but that defense, come on, defense.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not a Falcons fan. I mean, I'm a football team fan.
Yeah,
I'm a football team fan. So I just know my team's garbage.
I'm a football fan, so
I think it must be just so hard to be a Falcons fan and just continue to have these, these great games just get ripped away from you. I can't. I mean, that is like becoming who they are. I mean, it started.
Yeah, it's their identity.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like they're just choke artists.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember Tony Kornheiser used to call the Washington Capitals. We can still call them the Capitals, right? Capitals not offensive, I hope.
The Washington hockey team.
The Washington hockey team, we'll say that because we don't want to offend anybody. He called them choking dogs because they would be up 3-1 in series. And you hear stuff like, most teams are up 3-1. They have an 87% probability of winning the series. And then in the 90s and the late 80s, they would just choke it away. And it was fitting. It was fitting. I feel like we're in the same boat now. Like, they are the choking dogs of the NFL. Postseason, regular season, you have a good chance to come back against the Falcons and to witness an implosion like you would never see on any other team again and again. It is remarkable. It is. So I
think when Julio gets good, they're going to continue to just get up and then lose games.
Hey, I hope that Quinn sticks around so that I can still ride the hot hand of the offensive explosions that do happen. And, that's just kind of – so I tweeted out one thing I did notice about the NFL games on Sunday. At one point, there was 24 field goals. 24 field goals in the first set of games, that first 8-game window at the 1 o'clock window. And it was terrible. It was terrible for a while. Thank God there was a few games that redeemed it. And then the second set of games, 5 glorious games. We had a lot of fun games. Detroit, Arizona was one of those games that went back and forth. You had Kyler Murray running around, DeAndre Hopkins doing his thing, but then the whopper of all whoppers, the best game of the week to me by far. Last night's game was really good too. But the main game was Seattle versus the boys. What a game.
Oh,
You're moist, right? You watch a game, your jock gets moist, right?
Yeah, man. Dude, Dak had 475 yards. That's insane. I mean,
that's like a career for Tyrod Taylor. Don't inject me, Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah. That team is going to be difficult to beat. I do think the Seahawks are just showing that they are the powerhouse in the NFC. But the Cowboys.
They're good. Cowboys are good too, man.
Cowboys, Packers, Saints. That was the Saints without Michael Thomas.
Right.
Well,
then
we got our boy. We got beautiful beautiful touchdown Tommy. We got
Ooh, it's a great
New
trend.
England Baywatch.
New England Baywatch. Mike Evans paid off twice as nice for the price with Tommy Two Touch there. He was looking good.
I think it was Ian Hartitz that might have tweeted it out. Somebody tweeted out his stat line for the first 3 games. It's the weirdest stat line you've ever seen in your life. Like,
Really?
yeah. Like, I don't know. 0 catches first week. Second week, 6 for like 150.
Yeah.
Touchdown. Did you have 1 or 2?
1.
Okay, yeah. And then yesterday, 2 catches for 2 touchdowns.
That's it.
Yeah. That's weird.
That's peculiar.
Yeah. But it's shaping up to be a fun season with New England Baywatch. They're both 2-1. They're both right there. They're both. It looks like they're both going to make the playoffs. So
Tom settled down.
Tom is settling down. His old eyes are tracking a little bit better. I don't know if I'm ranking the NFC. They're probably around like 6, something like that.
Right. They might be a wild card team who gets in. They're no lock though. I've heard everyone say, I love this. A team we thought was a Super Bowl contender. Like they just drop it in the Fox. They'll like, all right, 1st and 10, Tom Brady drops back. Oh, nice completion over the middle. A team that we thought was a Super Bowl contender. I think we can all kind of, and it's true, but it's just I've never kind of heard people so frankly mention that this team is not as good as we thought they were going to be. But on defense, they have been good. But on offense, they've still struggled to find like what their identity is and how they're going to play.
They're still building chemistry too. I mean, I could. It just depends. Like I'm rooting for them to have. I would love to see New England Baywatch Super Bowl. And
that'd be hilarious.
There's an outside chance for it because both teams are strong. I don't know in the AFC. So I'll say I put them at about 6. I think in the AFC, let's all just apologize to all our fellow fantasy millionaires out there for not telling you to draft Josh Allen in the first round. I mean, oh my gosh, dude, that guy, you got him probably in like the 11th round. So your team is set if you got that dude.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
I think it goes Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, 3rd. And then I might put New England 4th. I think they're a little bit better than Tampa Bay. I think that they're just a really tough out. So
yeah,
I don't think they're going to beat the Bills. I don't think they're going to be able to win that division. So they might be a wild card team, but
I think they're there. I think they're in the conversation.
Yeah. And then then you got the Steelers look good. Ben's back. So yeah. I don't know. I think it to me right now though that the way it just looks like Seattle Chiefs Super Bowl. I mean, Mr. Unlimited,
he's sexy.
Oh my gosh, that's another guy. I'm sorry we didn't tell you to draft in the first round. Oh my gosh,
got the vapors, man. Just listening to you talk about Russell Wilson.
He is Mr. Unlimited, dude.
Oh man,
he really is. I mean, dude. If you're doing DFS, start him every week.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. He's this season's equivalent of Christian McCaffrey. Put him in your lineup.
Shout out, by the way, speaking of that, shout out Pete Overzet, who won $10K this week. And guess what? He played Russell Wilson and double stack attacked him. with both wide receivers. So he had Lockett and he had Metcalf. Great call. He probably would have won $1 million or won the SPY, won $100,000 if Metcalf would have caught that second touchdown or first touchdown or whatever. Yeah, sons of what a bonehead move there. Catch the ball, you keep it in, man. You got to keep it in. But anyway, your boy also was up 350. So 5K last week, 350 this week. We're trending positive, and that's a good thing. My wife is more pleased than she was last week, even though last week I won a lot more. She, I think, finally thinks it's real. We talked about the wood floors. Today I got her in touch with your loan guy. I canceled our car insurance. I got new car insurance. I yelled at the eCam people. Hey, eCam, guess what? We're not on your platform anymore. Get your shit together. I'm serious. Like, goodness gracious. I talked to them, and they told me today, well, it's a 14-day policy to get your money back, for the year, which I paid for. And I just said, hey, listen, man, I didn't know you guys were going to suck. I didn't know. I trusted you'd be good, and you just kept sucking and kept sucking. It was too late. The suck train had left the station. So, we moved over. We're on StreamYard, and I'm loving it already. Easy interface. Nice to be able to see everything in front of us. And we're going to jump. With that being said, we're going to jump to 3 tweets. Because,
All right.
What we do here, what we do here on three tweets is we get into between at least me and Michael are the DMs. We DM each other our tweets, and I like yours. I'm going to throw yours up here. Hold on one second. This is a great tweet. I saw this earlier and I loved it. So I'm going to share this tweet.
Do the NFL memes one.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the one I'm doing. Yeah, no, you've
got.
Right,
I'll read it, and then you press play. So this is from NFL memes.
Yeah. Hold on one second. I need to pull this out into my other box to play it. So hold on one second.
This is a video of Vince McMahon lying in a hospital bed, and NFL memes tweeted out. Are you ready? Is it good?
Hold on one second.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. I need to.
This is from Monday Night Raw. I don't know.
Okay.
A while ago.
Here we go. Let me get it set up, and I'm gonna push play on it. Does it have audio on it or no?
Yeah, it's got audio. So this says from NFL memes, leaked footage of the Chargers team doctor taking care of Tyrod Taylor.
Okay, here we go.
I like he's in his underwear.
This doctor's beating Vince McMahon, punching his leg. He hits him with a frying pan. Oh man, that's hilarious. I love it. That's a strong entry, my friend. I'm not gonna lie. That's a strong entry. I'm gonna bring up my own tweet because Toots has to toot his own. Toot
it up, Tootsies.
Toot it up. Yeah. So for those who can't watch, you're just listening. I have a picture of myself up, and then I have a picture of the dad from the original, Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox when he's all upset and he shows his son that he's a werewolf too, and I have a picture of me next to it. We look pretty similar, and we both have a kind of a weird expression on our face, and it says before and after 1 month of distance learning. And the only kind of difference between us is that the dad's a lot grayer, and I'm a lot darker in my hair. So it's a visual thing here on the Periscope, but I thought I'd throw it out there. It got over 100 likes, or it got 100 likes. So I thought it was worthy because I thought it was Anyway, that was my
100 liker for Toots. That's pretty strong.
Well, I like yours. You're the winner here to me. That was just. I mean, Tyrod Taylor being beaten by his doctor, punched in the cat. Man, they stabbed him in the heart with a trident, man. They did him dirty. And I think that's hilarious. You want to send over your next one, or is it already in the stream?
It's already in there. It's Andrew Schultz.
Andrew Schultz. Well, that's one of my guys. And so, all right, here it's up on the screen now. Here's what it says. It says this is from Out.
Yeah, well, first it says from Outkick, woke Spotify employees are demanding control over Joe Rogan's podcast. So this is the whole controversy regarding Spotify. There's been talk that they're not going to release all his shows, and
where's this all coming from? This is all news to me. I need to be enlightened.
Yeah. So Spotify, Joe Rogan signed a $100 million deal with Spotify, and he's still on YouTube, but he's transitioning. And now Spotify is going to eventually become the exclusive distributor of Joe Rogan. So he signed a big deal, and now Spotify employees are like, they're saying that they're going to strike. So,
good.
Yeah, the first tweet was woke Spotify employees are demanding control over Joe Rogan's podcast. So Andrew Schultz tweeted, which, I just think it's smart. Wait till they hear the lyrics from the music on their platform. It's just so true. I mean,
it's what it is it's selective outrage. And I think what we can do, sadly, in society, and we had a lot of jokes in the first couple episodes where we intro us and talk about a heavy issue and say we're going to get into it. But
right.
Here's the thing about it, and we'll always talk about this, I think, as free thinking, kind of comedic influenced, podcasters, presenters, artists, whatever it is. The ability to say what you want about anybody is a real important thing in society. And for people in a money-making operation to go, we're not going to work if his words are said on this platform after they paid him. They should have talked to their employees before.
Right.
I mean, if that was that big of a deal, that to me is not power to the people. That is more tyranny of the people, and it's missing the boat, because Joe Rogan, to me, is what's right about this world, because he brings people together. He has perspectives, and maybe they're not what you want to hear, but he's nice to everybody. And I don't want to say this in a too glib way, but to me, there's not a better Jesus Christ-like figure in our society now than Joe Rogan, because he doesn't harbor animus to really any people overtly. I mean, he's not a Nazi. He doesn't like Nazis, but he's not beating the drum hatred towards anybody. I think that's a real big thing that I think that people need to get behind in all sides, left, right, middle, is not demonizing people for their views and listening, caring, loving, and then you can decide if they're worth listening to. And you don't need to strike over it, though. That's for sure. So my 2 cents.
Yeah. I just like the tweet because, I mean, where does it end? I mean, right. You are going to quit because, you don't agree with certain things that he says, but this is Spotify. I mean, we're
right.
talking about a music media site, and where does it stop? Wait till they hear the lyrics from the music on their platform. It's almost like, are we headed back into Salem? I mean,
McCarthyism.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird.
It's weird.
I mean, the idea that you want to, censor somebody like Joe Rogan, it's just odd. And the reason why I like the tweet is that I just think it's sharp, because
it's ironic.
Where does it end?
Yeah.
Where does it end? Because
right.
you're dealing with a platform where, I mean, are we not going to be able to have Metallica on there or Marilyn Manson?
Never.
Yeah. So I don't know.
How about this? This is our open audition to work for the Spotify. Hey, Spotify, throw me and my boy a couple hundred G's over here. Bring us in. We'll tell you what's popping. We'll give it to you straight, especially on the fantasy football. If you want to start off the fantasy football, we'll be down for the pound. Get rid of that trash that doesn't want to work with Joe Rogan. I'll work with Joe Rogan. I'll talk to Joe Rogan. Get the hell out of here. Jeez Louise. That's ridiculous. That's just elitism in a group of people. That's garbage, man. I love Joe Rogan. So
I just won my game in Crab Cakes Invitational. Woo! Lamar Jackson touchdown.
Hi. Who'd you beat?
The Fantasy 6-pack.
Oh, that's my guy, Joe Bond. So listen to this. Since we're kind of in the shout-out portion of the show, the deep dive anyway, I'll say this. I got on his podcast this week with him and our boy AJ, who's in our league as well. And apparently it was great because they both DM'd me and just said, man, that was phenomenal. Loved it. Went over 1,000 views on the Periscope, which is phenomenal, apparently, because they told me it was phenomenal. They're really excited. A couple days later, I did another show with my man Chase, Fantasy Intervention, and then my man Bo. Together, we talked DFS. And then on Saturday, I met with Michael Hoff, the Hoffinator, don't call me Hasselhoff, Michael Hoff. And we did my DFS money shot. I ran him for $50. And I heard that Anthony Savino he wants a little revenge for the FF,
Now.
Yeah. No, he called me out because here's what happened is I beat his man. I whooped on his man. And
so now he's got to come in Big Brother style.
Yeah, Big Brother's coming to get me. And so, I know I gotta say, so, next week I beat my man Mike. Now I'm up against Anthony, and then we're gonna rerun it the following week. The three of us are gonna go at it for a little. So I could be up, 2-0 and be going to the 3-peat against these guys, or it could be an even Steven coming back for the heads up at the end. It's all exciting. It's great stuff going out there. The other podcasts I got going are also the Millie Maker, which I didn't win this week, but I got $40 out of it, so I doubled my money. And then I also, I love talking prop bets. I'm up right now. My total is 36 wins, 32 losses. That's just where I'm at right now. So I'm at 53%. I want to be a little higher, but you know what? I'm not in the red, which is good. I'm excited about that. Still growing, still learning. Anything you want to plug, man? Anything you're rocking with these days?
I just rock with the Fantasy Millionaires. Tune in to my man over here and listen to all those things. And tune in next Monday. Put the game on mute. Get the fantasy landscape, and we'll be here every Monday, 9:30, doing it live.
Check it out, guys. Appreciate everybody being here, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.